AskReddit by Stevedon96. How would you feel if you turned on the news tomorrow and found out Donald Trump passed away? If he passes tomorrow, this thread will be the subject of one hell of a conspiracy theory. OP is on a list. In the words of Ice Cube, I ain't gonna pop no champagne, but I ain't gonna shed no tears either. I've never wished a man dead, but I have read some obituaries with great pleasure. Clarence Darrow. Annoyed that it would dominate the news cycle for several weeks. Months. There'd be a presidential funeral and all that hoopla. I would be sad cause Biden, Obama, and Trump would no longer play Minecraft together. Opens Twitter. Sips tea. Did Ron DeSantis write this? I have never killed anyone, but I have read some obituary notices with great satisfaction. Clarence Darrow. Between this and the fable about the old man who buys a newspaper every day and throws it out immediately, why I'm looking for an obit. Obits are page 7, not front page, not the one I'm looking for. That pretty much covers my feelings on the topic. I hope that when it happens it's a very boring indisputable death. A bit of relief immediately followed by dread for all the absolutely psychobabble bullshit the cannon nutters would start spewing about it. It's going to go crazy whenever he dies. They'll either think he was killed by the deep state, the Bidens, the WEF, or they'll think he faked his own death ready to come back to save the world. Scenario B will probably involve less riots at least. I would pick Putin to die first. They could die in each other's arms. One part thank God and one part, oh God, the news is never going to shut up about this. I want to see him brought to justice for his crimes before he dies. Exactly this. It's not just that he needs to be jailed, other corrupt politicians need to see that they are all subject to the rule of law. All we have seen so far with Trump is that this is not true. You can run roughshod over any rule or law and face no consequences so long as you have power or influence. The people in power need to go back to fearing their electorate, not act nobility and kings of old where the rules don't apply. His death will solve none of this. Relieved. I don't wish dead upon people, but there are some people that I won't feel bad about if they left the earth. Oh, I wish many people dead with zero guilt. Plenty of good people die young. Seems like too many rotten assholes live forever. If he dies, he dies. Do you mean the actor from Home Alone 2? It'd be pretty irrelevant, like his role in that movie. I think it was that one guest on WWE. Whoa. Where'd this TV come from? I don't have a TV. What's all your furniture pointed at? I'd actually be really worried about Ron DeSantis winning the presidency, even more than I already am. The thing about Trump is, as much as he liked the cruelty, it was never really the point. He didn't care what happened so long as it served his ego. With Ron DeSantis, this is a guy who likes watching people get tortured. DeSantis is a true fascist. Edit. Tired of people asking for the torture thing. Here's the source: TPS. www. Independent Co-op News World America's Politics. Ron DeSantis Guantanamo torture prisoner B 2,300,753 HTML. He's known to support advanced interrogation techniques, which is just a euphemism for torture. Ron DeSantis 2/policies foreign policy torture. If you still don't believe me, just know his jurisdiction over Guantanamo was horrible news. 2023/APR/28/ Ron DeSantis Guantanamo Bay allegations. Unfortunately, DeSantis is only 44 years old. So whether it's tomorrow or 10 years from now, eventually we're going to have to face exactly this situation. Don't threaten me with a good time. Pretty neutral. Maybe I'd look into what happened. but no joy or sadness. Oh no, anyway. Honestly, I'd be in a shit mood. Don't get me wrong. As a gay man, I hate him with every fiber of my being. That being said, there's one nice thing about him currently being around. Any Republican that wants to run for president has to compete with him, and that means that Republican votes are more likely to be split between candidates. Which means Dems will have a higher chance at winning. On top of all this, Trump dying means the Republican nominee next term will be DeSantis. And DeSantis is much more dangerous than Trump in my opinion. I think Trump being alive is a lesser of two evils situation. It makes me angry how correct you are. Too little too late. He's already inspired bigots to be vocal and proud of their status, and those are just the ones that are dumb enough to tell on themselves. Trump is not the cancer, he is a symptom of a much more sinister disease. We have bigger problems. Unfortunately, it has become clear that he is but one head of a hydra, and others are growing to take his place. That said, fuck that guy, he has brought nothing but shame and embarrassment to this nation. Either way, there would be a huge conspiracy about it. Like, I don't understand how an obese, 70-plus-year-old man with anger issues just dies all of a sudden. Let's storm the Capitol, because it was clearly murder. Afraid, because you know there are going to be calls for violence against people who are blamed for his death. Even if he died a McDeath from too many Big Macs, conspiracy theorists would find a way to spin it against liberals, minorities, queer people, Jews or anyone else they hate. I'd make sure it was reported by a credible source, and after confirming that it was true I would go out and buy a bottle of champagne with which to celebrate. I'd be pleased if they found that it was his cellmate who did it. Relief. Plain and simple. This shit stain of a human being has wrecked rational discourse around politics. He may not be the disease, but he sure as hell is the biggest symptom.